Hello, thank you so much for joining me, and today we're going to be doing crafts with mudlarking finds. Okay, this is part 2 of 12 finds of Christmas, and what I'm going to use on this part of the 12 finds of Christmas is the little plate that I found. Okay, a little leg, the broken doll's head, always a super find, aren't they, doll's heads. The other broken doll's head, I don't know if you remember, on the 12 finds of Christmas, it was in 2 parts. But luckily, the forehead was right either inside it or it was right behind it. So we've got just a half a head there, and then we've got this, which I didn't know what it was at the time, but it's actually a games piece. Okay, a wooden games piece. I think walnut, I'm not sure. And then we've got 2 pieces of pipe, which I've counted as 1 find. Okay, I've counted that as 1. They don't go together, but I will make them go together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pipe. Okay, I'm going to fix that in a Mandabelle style with a bit of clay. Okay, so that's the first make. The second make, sorry. And the first make I'm going to do is I'm going to put all those, the doll's heads, the plate, the leg, and the games piece into a picture frame. Alright, so let's get cracking, and I'll get everything that I need together to do this picture frame. Right, so first things first, I'm going to take the back out of this picture frame because we need to put a piece of paper on the back. And to be honest, I'm using a little picture frame, and you won't really see the paper that's on the back, so I'm just going to use this piece that's to hand. Okay, you'll barely see what's on the back. Otherwise, I would do something that was, you know, the same sort of theme if I was going to see a bit more of the back. There we go. Right, we're back in. And also, this frame is not deep enough, and there wouldn't be a frame that was deep enough to put that head in. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use the piece of glass at the front. Okay, so I'm going to take that out. I'm not going to use it because it just won't fit. Right, okay, so I'm just going to move my little toy pieces to one side. I've got my back of the frame. So, as per usual, I'm just going to put the paper on, and I'm just going to, I'm just going to mark the corner by pressing on. You know me, I don't like to measure. You can feel free to measure and get it exactly right. So you know what, I'm just going to go down both sides like that so I can see it, and I'm going to cut it with a pair of scissors. So you don't need to have fancy machines, you know, slicing machines. You can just have a pair of scissors. As you can see there, look, I've folded it so you can see the lines. I'm just going to cut with the scissors because you won't see the very, very edges anyway. So even if you've got like unsteady hands, you can still cut it and it'll be perfect. Okay, so there we go. We've got our piece of paper. I'm just going to glue it on there. I'm going to use tacky glue. There we go. Bit of tacky glue. This is a great glue, this. It dries quite quickly. it's not a wet glue. It won't make your paper crinkle up like PVA would. Don't use PVA on paper because it will just make it bubble up because it's a wet glue. Right, this is tacky glue. It's great. Tons and tons of stuff. Okay, so making sure it's the right way up. Just gonna stick it on. Okay, simple as that. Press it on. And there we have back piece done. Don't forget, we really will not be able to see that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is plug in my heat gun. Find a spare plug. There's one behind me, so just sort of bending over double. Okay. We can have that heating up. I've got a spare glue rod here, ready. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put all those things onto here with the heat gun. But first of all, I want to have some words going around the outside edge of this, okay? So I've got my little cricket. You've seen it before. I'll put it sideways so that you can see it in action. I have got some black vinyl. I've got the smart vinyl. If you remember, the smart vinyl is the vinyl for the Joy, which is already on a mat, so you don't have to put it on a mat. It's a little bit more pricey, but it's so easy. It's so much more convenient. And this Cricut Joy is it's brilliant. I usually have I've always had the big Cricuts that attach to my computer. Okay, and they work fantastically, but you have to have it attached to a computer. But this one, completely portable. All you need is your phone and the Cricut app, and away you go. You obviously some of this or the mat and some vinyl and card or whatever it is that you're cutting out. It's brilliant. As long as you're not doing anything that you don't need to do anything massive, because obviously you're limited in your size because of the width, but not so much in the length. You can cut out, quite wide. So yeah, it's a great piece of equipment, and I think they're about £179. I don't know what that is in dollars, but they're really good, really handy if you want to cut out pieces of card or lettering for things. So anyway, we have done that several times before. I have got my app installed on my phone. It's just the Cricut app. Okay, so just go to it on my phone, and I've already got some words. Okay. It's all fun and games until the leg falls off. Okay, for some reason I must have nudged it and a couple of the letters have slipped down because I've got fat fingers. So I can make those right when I've cut it out. Okay, so it's all fun and games until the leg falls off. It's all fun and games until it's like a phrase that you sort of finish it off, depending what you want it for. So anyway, so that is what I want to put on there. So I'm going to press the button on the app. I'm going to press the button on the app that says make it. Okay, because thankfully Nicole has sent me this mat, a few of these, tons of blades to go with this knife, and it came with this ruler. And you know me, I never have a ruler, so I never measure anything. But I've actually measured the frame to make sure that the words are the right size to go on it, which is something I never do. I usually guess, don't I? So thanks to Nicole for my mat, which I'm using, and my ruler, and I might even use my knife later. Right, okay, so right, let's make it. Let's press make it. Okay, we're going to do it with without mat because it's got its own mat. Oh, right, hang on. Let's go back. How do we go back? Canvas, back on there, because it's not all highlighted, that's why. Right, so okay. We want to load this up, and it takes it through to make sure there is enough to cut. Okay. So it's just checking the length of your vinyl. Then I'm going to press the go button, which is on the bottom of the app. I'm just going to press go. Sends it to the machine. Obviously the machine is doing all the hard work, cutting out all those letters that we've just put on. Okay, now we just have to press the unload button. There we go. We've got our vinyl out of the machine. I can see where it ends, and I'm just going to cut it. Put that to one side. Throw it out of the way. With our machine now, just turn it around that way. Right, okay. It's actually very handy that I've got this, because I can use it to weed the vinyl. That's what you call it when you're taking the vinyl off the backing. Okay, so I'm just going to weed this. The letters are quite small, so I'm going to have to be careful they don't ping off. But don't worry if when you're doing this, letters ping off, because you can always cut it again, and you can always just do the letters that you want. You don't have to do the whole thing. But sometimes they do ping off. Hopefully not this time, but yeah, sometimes they do ping off. Not often, but it's something to be aware of. Okay, right, there you go. All weeded. Little pieces are on the back of my thumb. Usually I stick them on my table when I'm working in the other craft room, but I can't stick them on the table here because this is the studio room. Right, okay, so we've got that. We need some of this tape now, which is the lifting tape. Just need to cut a piece of that. Just put that on, and then with the back of the scissors, I'm just going to press the letters onto this lifting tape. Okay, let's see if that has gone onto the tape. Right, just a little bit more. I have told you before that I find that when I use this smart vinyl, I do have to give it an extra hard rub to get the letters onto this lifting tape. Oops. But when I use the other vinyl on a normal mat, it just comes off. Right, this is a bit fiddly, so I shall bring you back when I've rubbed it all onto this backing sheet. Right, I'm not going to lie, that was really quite fiddly. I found this black vinyl on here quite tricky to get off. I had to use my knife just to pick the tops of each letter to make it stick on there. So that was fiddly, not going to deny it. Right, but we've got them now. So hopefully with Mick's magic editing, you will have missed half of that. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the frame. I want it to start at the side and go down there, and I want it to finish at the bottom. Okay, so I want to put the first line on the side there. I'm just going to press it on. It sticks a lot easier on there. So it's all fun and games until the leg, until it's all fun and games until the leg. And I'm not going to have it carry on like, oh, should I? No, I'm not. Right, if you look at that, this is the dilemma. Right, okay, it's going around the frame, so it's this side. It's all fun and games until the leg. The dilemma is, do you have it going upside down at the bottom? Or do you have it going the right way round? And I'm thinking right way round, okay? So, do whichever way you want. I'm going to do it the right way around. I've made my decision. I've committed. I'm doing it. Okay. So, yeah, that was truly fiddly to get that off there. Oh, and I lost an N as well. I found an N floating about. But never mind. We've put it all on there now. So, it's all fun and games until the leg falls off. That's what I wanted. That's what I envisaged on the outside of that frame. So we've got our frame. And what I'm going to do, because we're not using the glass, I do want to have this leg hanging down. So I do want that on a bit of wire. It will all become obvious. Don't want to glue the leg. Can help it. Okay, luckily the leg has like a little, what can I say, a little indent at the top. So I could put the wire around that. Okay, because I want that hanging down. I want it hanging down. Let me just see roughly where I want it hanging. I want it hanging where the S is. Okay, I'm going to glue this between this like spacer frame, this spacer frame. I'm going to glue it along that edge there so it hangs between the spacer frame and the outer frame. Okay, and I've already looked at it and I wanted it to hang where the S is. Oh, how low? That low will do. Okay, so let me, I want to mark the underside actually where the S is. Try to mark it so I can see where it's going. Okay. I'm going to cut that down a bit. Okay, right. Glue gun is hot. Hot, hot, hot. Fiddly. Sorry, I'm just trying to cool it down. That down. Cool. Okay, I'm going to unplug it. And it will stay hot for ages. This is a really good one, the Stanley one. it becomes cordless because it holds its heat for a very long time so that you can use it cordless. So the Stanley one is a very, very good one off Amazon. Okay, right. Well, I can put that on there. Doesn't matter that the glue's wet. Put the spacer back into the frame. Yeah. Right, there we go. That can go there like so. I can actually put that backboard on, I think. Right. Don't forget I haven't done this before. But I'm pretty sure I can get this on now and work from the front. Okay. Right, so far we've got a dangly leg, okay? Right. This is why I envisaged all coming to fruition. Right, so I'm just going to lay these things on before I glue them. Right, so let me make sure you can get a good view. So my idea was that head down there, that head up there, plate down there, counter there, and it's all fun and games. Oh no, that's the top. Oh, I put the board in the wrong way around. Put it upside down. Oh, you know when you do a craft, right, and just nothing goes right? That's the bottom. That's the bottom. That's the top. Right. Okay. Okay, count to 10. I don't even know if Mick can edit this. So bad. It's so bad. Why did I think that was the top? Right, doesn't matter. There we go. It's off. Right, it's all fun and games. That is the top of the frame. Okay. We want it where the A is on there. Let's do it again. Right, so we want it where the A is. Oh, listen, not everything's perfect, is it? Right, so where's that? There. A little mark. Let's do this again. Let's get me foot. Let's stick it on there. Get the blue gun. Oh. On there. Right, let's try again. Let's put the frame in. Yep. The leg is now hanging from the top. Okay. Listen, we've all done upside down things. Don't pretend you haven't. Right. Put the frame in here, at the back, sorry, in the frame. Oh my gosh, you know when you have one of those days and just like nothing goes right? Honestly, I really think COVID brain is a thing. I think I've got it. Right. Here we go. Right. Let's try it again. Okay. We've got our leg hanging from the top. Okay. Right. Now, we want that there. That plate there, that games piece there, and that head there. Right, so let's use our glue gun and glue these things into place. We know where they're going. Let's just pop them out. This is the biggest thing, so let's get this glued on first. So let's see what I'm doing is I'm looking to see what touches, because that's where I want to put the glue. Okay, so there and there, touch on that. So that's where I want to put the glue. So I want a big blob of glue there and a blob of glue there. Okay, and then I want to put it down and there. Right, okay, plate on the back. Don't forget these are I need the glue stick. These are the things I found on 12 Finds of Christmas. So the Christmas video. Right, put the plate there. Okay. Her head, well, she connects at the bottom. She sits flat on the bottom and at the top of her head. And then the little games piece. It's quite a gnarly game. It's the only games piece I've ever found, but it's quite gnarly. It's not like it's in perfect condition. So I don't mind putting a bit of hot glue on the back of there. Okay, you know what? That, I'm going to free that leg 1 second. That is done. These are all things that children play with. Okay, so that was the thought process behind this picture. And I'm sorry that I've made so many mistakes on this. It's late, I'm tired. So this is the picture that I have made finally. Okay, it's all fun and games until the leg falls off. And there's the leg, it's fell off. And these were all once loved and played with toys, weren't they? The little plate, the games piece, and the two heads. So there you go. Just try and lift it so you can see the games piece. Got that bit of glue. Glue strands everywhere. There we go. And I do think that is a really, really lovely picture. Right, hopefully the second one won't be a disaster like that one. Okay, all I've got to do, how hard can it be, is just attach this to this and mend this pipe, okay? How difficult can it be to mend it and make it look like a pipe? Right, so I'm going to use Daz, which is an air drying clay. You know, I've used it many times because you can sand it. Yeah, it's just as good as Milliput, but a lot cheaper. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to mend this hole here that's on the bowl. Right, so I'm going to get a little bit of water on that, I think, just to smooth it off a little bit. Don't forget we can sand it when it's dry. Very hard to work in front of yourself, especially when you can't see. That's okay until it dries, and then we can see that mended it. Mended that hole. Okay, I think to help me work with it, I'm just gonna unplug this cricket. Sorry, this cricket, and plug this heat gun in. This is a craft heat gun as opposed to one that strips your paint off your walls. Okay, just to give it a little bit of a helping hand. Right, I'm going to glue, I think, just to help it along. I'm going to see if we can glue that on there, just to help it, help us work with it a bit easier. Okay, bit of a try and put a bit more glue on that side. A little bit. That's just going to help us while we're working with the clay. Right, okay, let's get some of this clay. This is not something I've done before. This is not, I don't work with clay. Okay, so please be aware of that. So the experts that do work with clay, I'm sure you're all shouting at the screen. Telling me how I should be doing it. I'm just putting clay, joining the bowl and this stem together. That's it basically. I'm just filling that gap in and then I'm going to smooth it. Yeah, simple as that. I just put the glue on it to make it easy to work with. I've got clay on there now, so we'll get the water on it to smooth it out. That's probably the best bet before I rub all the clay off, okay? Don't worry about getting it too smooth because you can sand it, don't forget. I don't want to cover the make that's on it, the Brian O'Brien. No, Brian, I can't help it, it's the O'Brien. I always think of Brian O'Brien. Sorry, Brian. I always think of you when I see these pipes. So now we've called them Brian O'Brien pipes. There you go. We will paint this at the end so it's all one colour. We'll sand it, and you know what? I think it might need a bee on it of some description. Somewhere. In fact, with my mats, and my knife, and my knives, I also got some little bees. Some little tiny bees. So I might be able to put one of those on somewhere. Right, this isn't very neat at all, but I'm hoping that when it's dry, I can sand it and it will be a lot neater. Okay. Okay, that'll do for now. I'm going to dry that. I'm going to put this clay away. I'm going to dry it and then I'm going to sand it. Right, it's only been a few minutes. That feels dry enough to sand, so I'm just going to use some sandpaper. See if we can get it looking a little bit neater and maybe think about adding one of those little bees. Okay, a bit messy, but as you can see, it's fixed the bowl with the pipe stem. Okay, we've got a full pipe. Right, I might add a bee, I'm not sure. Let's just have a look. Let's just have a look what these little bees have to offer this pipe. You know what? I think I'll add one after. I'm going to paint it so it's all one colour, okay? I'm going to paint it so it's all one colour and then I'm going to add a bee after. I think I'm going to put some wire on it and hang it round it and add it that way. Okay, so let me get a little palette for some paint and just let me go and choose some paint. I'm going to start with a base coat of white paint, I think. We'll paint it all white and then we'll take it from there and maybe, you know, make it a little bit thingy, a little bit beige in areas, but we'll start with white first. Give it a coat of white, just so we can make it all even to start off with. In fact, just let me try that so they can hold the stem. 1 second. Yep, just so I can hold it there. Okay, so we've given it a base coat of white, so let's start from there. Because you know these pipes, they do go white, don't they, when they're left out. Right. I'm going to give it a little bit of a dry. And then I'm going to think about somehow applying like a beigey coat I've got there, but I don't want to brush it on, so I might get something to wipe it on. So let me just dry this first. Okay, I'm just going to get something to apply that paint to this bowl. Right, I've got a dry wipe here. Right, I'm going to give it a go. If it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, and we'll try something else. This is something I can practice on first. Pipe stem. Right, I'm just going to practice 1 second on this pipe stem. Right, okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for it. Just going to go for it. Just a little bit of paint on there. You don't want too much. I didn't want brush strokes on it for some reason. I just wanted it a bit patchy. And you know what? It looks okay. Oh, probably can't tell, it's a bit washed out with that light. I'll be able to better tell when it's on there like that. Okay, right, you know what? I'm happy with that, but I do want to add a bee. I do want to add one of our bees. So just let me get a wet wipe. A wet one. Okay, and that was just using hailstone. I'll just put some hailstone on it with a dry wipe. Just use any sort of fabric. And just wiped it on because I wanted it patchy. I wanted it darker and lighter. And I didn't want brush strokes. So I think that's worked fine on that. I want to add the bee, so I'm going to get a little bee. Okay. And I'm going to get some wire. Okay. I don't know why I don't want to glue it on. It's got a hole in the top of the bee. These were from Nicole. I think they were. They came in 2 separate packages and there wasn't a name. So I'm guessing that they were from Nicole. Because Nicole got me the mat and other bits and pieces as well. Okay. I just want that to go around it really. I just want it to hang a bit like a bottle charm. This is a pipe charm. Okay. Yes. I like that. Right, let me just twist that on. Twist it on, cut it off. Excuse me. Right, and there we have it. Second. There we have it. I've mended the pipe. I've painted it. And it's got a little bee charm hanging off it. And I think that is a lovely little make. And I'm so sorry that this has been a really choppy make. Hopefully you haven't noticed it quite so much and Mick has done some fantastic editing and put it all together, because it was like a catalogue of errors. So if you stuck with me to the end, thank you so much. And I'm so sorry if it's been a little bit choppy, but I don't know if you've seen it, but I did the picture upside down. Oh, goodness me. I did it upside down twice. But we're here now. We're at the end. We've used all but 2 of the 12 finds of Christmas. Okay. The little pipe. And they're beautiful. It's all fun until the leg falls off picture. The last 2 remaining finds from the 12 finds of Christmas are these 2 bottles. So I've got this like sort of conical shaped bottle, and this one. This one was dinked on the top, but I've just put some clay on just to make it complete so that I can use a stopper on it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate these in a slightly different way. I'm not going to put a poison label sticker on it. I'm going to paint them. So a little bit different to potion bottles. I'm just going to decorate these bottles, okay? And I've grabbed a glass stopper to go on that one, and I presume a little sort of teapot type lid, doll's teapot lid, something to go on there, but it doesn't quite sit well. So I got a piece of clay and I just made it into like a cork sort of shape, and I'm going to stick it onto the base of there when I've decorated it, or stick it on before actually, and then I'll decorate it, and that will create a stopper that will sit nicely in that bottle. Okay, so first of all I'm going to grab my tray which I just had. Right, Okay, it's here. Okay, so I'm going to start off by putting gilding glue on the things I want gilding. We can do it all in one go. Okay, I've got my brush, I've got my gilding glue. So with this one, I'm just going to put the gilding glue on the neck. Okay, I'm just going to put it on this one. Okay, so that's just the neck of that bottle as well. That's gilded. That's got the gilding glue on it. I'm going to do this stopper. And just so that I can hold this stopper, I'm just going to get the heat gun on it to dry the glue, so that I can hold it to put the glue on the other end. Okay. Okay, I'm going to probably hot glue that onto the bottom of this, that cork thing that I've made onto there. Okay, like so that that will be a stopper on there. Don't forget, if it's a shiny surface, sometimes you have to do 2 coats, but it's okay to do 2 coats of gilding. I think I'm going to paint the clay bit like a brown to make it look a bit like a cork. I'm just going to gild the lid. Okay, just give me 2 seconds to dry this glue with the heat gun, and I'll get back to you when I do the gilding. I think that's just about dried the gilding glue on there. Right, so let's get the gilding flakes. And this gilding flake here selection is one that was made for me. This was made for me by Sarah. I don't know if you remember, we went to a local dump and took Sarah with us, and she gave me some gifts, and this is one of the gifts she gave me. It was a mix of gilding sheets all put up into little pieces to make some gilding flakes, and I'm going to call this one Purple Haze. It's got copper in it, it's got gold in it, and it's got purples and pinks, so I'm going to call it Purple Haze. It's a lovely selection, so I'm going to use that. I'll do this big bottle first, and there's a little stopper. So, as per usual, just get these gilding flakes pushed onto the glue. Push it on, make sure it's lovely and stuck. And then just brush it off. You've seen me do it hundreds of times. If you haven't tried it, don't be afraid. Get some gilding flakes, get some gilding glue, and away you go. Oh, that's a lovely, lovely colour mix. I've been waiting to use this little jar of gilding flakes for ages. Well, since she gave it to me. I knew there would be a project. It doesn't matter that the gilding flakes are inside, because I'm going to actually paint these bottles. Right, that is beautiful. Okay, right, I'm just going to gild all the other things now. Mick will probably speed this up. Right, okay, everything's gilded. I'm just going to put the gilding back in there and then on to the next part. Okay, I've chosen this paint. This paint is just acrylic paint, and it said it's plaid, P-L-A-I-D. So I'm going to use one of my new little paint pans, which I found on Treasure Hill dump, one of our new dumps. Right, everything's glittery. Right, these bottles will take 2 coats of paint. The first coat, you go one way, so on this one I'm going to go that way. When you put your second coat on, paint in the opposite direction, otherwise you'll just end up with lines going in one direction. Whereas if you do the first coat going one way and the second coat going another way, it just sort of fills it in a bit. It makes it less sort of brush stroke like. So yeah, I'm just going to give that a coat, dry it, give it a second coat, and do the same to that. Just show you, look how that's going to look. So yeah, just going to give these 2 coats of paint. Don't forget, one direction, first coat, other direction, second coat. Right, we've got these bottles now with 2 coats of paint on. There you go, just looks a little bit deeper, the colour on there. Right, and what I'm going to do is I have like a bag of like all sorts of bits and pieces, like little cutouts and stuff, flowers and writing and all sorts of bits and pieces. So I've just picked out a couple of things. Picked out just a couple of strips with writing on. Okay, like that, and then a number for the large one, and for the smaller one I've just got a little strip of writing and oops, a little like flower thing there, and I'm going to glue them on the outside of here. So the glue I'm going to use is going to be tacky glue. Okay, so let's put that paintbrush in there. Let me get a wipe, sorry. We'll get a wipe. Get rid of that paint. I'm just spreading it. There we go. That's cleaned. I'm going to stick my glue in there. So don't forget, this is tacky glue, which is obviously very strong because I can't get the lid off. There we go. You know, this make from start to finish of the picture, the pipe and this has just been like a complete catalogue of errors. Right, here we go, there's the glue. Right, okay. So, first of all, I'm going to do the large one. And I decided, if you remember, the 2 strips of writing and the number. So I'll glue the first one on, then I'll turn it round to show you. Just putting this tacky glue all over this piece of paper. Tacky glue is great. Don't use PVA. You may think it's the same thing, but it isn't. Okay, PVA is a wet glue and it will make your paper crinkle. And this one is tacky, is a fast dryer. Okay, so the first strip I've put on like that at an angle. Okay. Yes, that's at an angle. I want to put the other one sort of crossing it, but not in the middle. In fact, I know I'm going to put that number on first. That can go underneath. You can just buy these on eBay. Little packs of cut out things. I think it's called ephemera. So yeah, if you look that up on eBay, it'll just show you. I'll put scrapbooking. If you put scrapbooking in, or scrapbook, it will come up with all sorts of things like this as well. Okay, so I've stuck the 3 there, you see, and I'm just going to cross that one over. So we've got that on there. You see, you get the general idea. Anyway, right, that's glued on there like that. Okay, I've got this. I don't know if it's any good or not. Let me plug the glue gun in 1 second, sorry. Just in case I decide to put this on, because this braid here, it might look okay on here. You know what? I like that. Oops. I like that on there. Right. Yep, I'm going to always put that on there, I think. Right, let me just cut it to size. It's a bit bigger. Okay, and while the heat gun is warming up, let's see about putting this strip of writing. It's something got the word flowers on it, so shall I put on? No, I'm going to put this one on crooked as well. This might be a little bit harder to glue on, just because it's all like ridges. Let me move that out of the way, sorry. So we'll see how we go with this. I'll try and push it into the ridges if I can. You can cut up and tear any of your fancy papers that you've got really to do on this, or old books. You could do that with books. You could just get little, doesn't matter what it says, you know, you can just cut up old books yourself, and you don't need to buy any. Right, I'm gonna press it in to the ridges on this so that it doesn't sit flat. It actually goes in to the ridges a little bit. And diagonal. Okay, we've got that going diagonal. And flowers. I'm going to stick there. I'm going to stick it at the end. Okay. Okay. There we go. Oh, hold it up right so you can see that it's going diagonally. There. I think this is a bit too big for this one. Yeah, you'd only get like two. You know what? I'm going to use it. I know it covers up that gilding. I can still see the gilding on the top. I can still see the gilding at the bottom, but it actually looks quite nice. Just need to cut it right. Right, I know I've covered up a bit of that gilding with this one, but it's actually, that does actually look nice. Right, let me glue that on. Oops. Sorry. Double up there to get it on there. Just merely heat glue that onto there. I can still see the gilding at the top, and I can still see the gilding at the bottom because that's shining through. Let me just cut them little strandy bits off. Right, okay, you know what? I think that's done. I think it's done. I just painted that one brown at the bottom. Okay, the cork thing. So, yeah, they look a little bit something like Moroccan, I think, but that's it. Our last 2 of the 12 finds of Christmas are now finished, and I think that that is actually amazing and just a little bit different to my usual potion bottles, isn't it? Don't forget we've got that little old teapot lid that I just sort of made into a pretend stopper there, gilded in the beautiful flakes that I got off Sarah. There we go, there's the second one. So I'm going to hold it a bit better. There you go. Got the flowers there and the writing. Can you see? But we can't read that writing. It doesn't matter. The words don't really matter. It's just the fact that you've put something on there. Then we've got the stopper, gilded stopper in the top. And they are amazing. 2 bottles, painted and decorated. So we've got those 2 bottles. We've got the it's all fun and games until the leg falls off picture. And then we've got the clay pipe, which was in 2 pieces, 2 different pipes that have joined together, painted to look as one, and just stuck that little bead charm on. So there you go. The 12 finds of Christmas now complete and finished. And that was a really great craft. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when we put any videos up. And also don't forget, if you really enjoyed it, we have got the Ko-fi link down below which you can donate the price of a coffee to us, and we appreciate it very much. Thanks for watching. Bye.